Okay, here we go. We're going to try this, see if I can give you some class. This is in case of ice and sleet and snow on the 11th of January 2011. And this is the video for MUSL 3410. We are starting in chapter 11. There is a PowerPoint for chapter 11 that'd be most beneficial if you followed along or looked at that in concordance with doing this lecture to help you understand what we're talking about. The author of the book, Evan Bonds, has chosen the title The Art of the Natural as a place to begin with the classical era. Some of the foundation ideas that you need to think about as we go through this chapter, and I will add a few of my own, but let's go with what he has first, is the idea of music and the idea of nature. Music should be a natural expression. It shouldn't be artificial. Now, to make music natural, of course, it's going to often seem kind of artificial, but the idea is to make it natural. Therefore, the really complicated, fast flowing, all over the place Fortspinnung we talked about with Bach and melody is not going to be desirable. What we're going to find is that composers are more likely to write the melodies kind of like we heard Handel, but even simpler, because simple is natural. It doesn't sound affected. They want it to be what would be something your average peasant probably could sing. Now, there are differences between nature and art, and art natural and artificial, so be careful of those. The appeal of nature and the outdoors. You see this in a couple of the paintings that I put in Blackboard. You can also find it in the literature of the period, the poetry of the period. Composers draw their inspiration from nature and that sort of thing. So be looking for that as well. Now, there's an emphasis is shifted from musical expression of an affect, we talked about the doctrine of affections in the Baroque period, to a more straightforward natural representation of passion. Not an idea of what a passion was supposed to be. The upward minor sixth was supposed to be sorrow, but is that a natural expression of sorrow? These are the kind of questions that a classical period person would examine. You have a chart of how nature and art are different. Nature is genius. Art is technique. You can learn art, but you have to be born with genius. Therefore, it's more natural. My phone is going off. We'll let it go off. Also, under nature, we get such things as inspiration, unconsciousness, effortlessness. That's a very key part of classical music style. Divine, and it's something that's not teachable. Art, on the other hand, is a craft. It's conscious, it's something you do out of the conscious learning. It's hard work, it's human, and it's teachable. Now, amongst the things that we're going to be looking for are these characteristics in music itself. I know it's a little espresso.